If your wife feels unheard by you, the next time she begins to talk to you, do these 4 things that will prove to her that you are listening and will be evident right away. If you do these things, you will quickly feel much less frustrated yourself, and so will she. As a psychotherapist, I've dealt with people for decades in individual and couples counseling and have helped thousands improve their love for each other and reconnect by learning to simply communicate more effectively. So here's these 4 essential actions that you can take to show her and to prove to her that you're listening to her. So the first one will be about using your whole body. The second one will be, if you can't listen right away, how you can redirect that and come back to it. Number 3 will be something called active listening, a way of listening really effectively that's really helpful. And number 4 is just kind of watching the tone that you're carrying, and the facial expressions are important too. So let's go through right away. Number 1, show her with your whole body that you're listening. So if she comes up to you and wants to talk to you and you're watching TV or reading something or in the middle of a project, stop what you're doing, turn to her, have eye contact with her, and say something like, hey, I'm listening, what do you need? Or what's up, okay? It's critical that you put down what you're dealing with at the time and show her you're listening by that very action. You turn to her, look her in the eye, and keep that eye contact, by the way. You don't have to stare at her like, you're not staring at her like this, but you are engaging with her and you're looking at her in her eyes to kind of let her know that you're really listening. People are very attuned to this, and she will pick up on this pretty quickly, I think. Also, as she's talking, another way you just show interest once in a while is you just kind of nod once in a while, like that. So if she's talking, you don't want to just stare at her. You don't want to be looking away and looking down at your book or something else. Look her in the eye, and have that looking at her. And then, as you're doing this once in a while, you may look away and so on, but kind of nod, just give her a nod that you're listening so that she knows you're involved. Number 2, this is a pretty cool one. If you can't listen right then, and I know there's critical things in life, like the end of a basketball game or a baseball game or football or something, or you're engaged in something in the shop or working somewhere that you really want to finish, it's okay. But you can't just dismiss her like, yeah, later, or I don't want to talk to you. What you can do is you can let her know directly that, hey, I'm in the middle of something right now. So in other words, you don't always have to be on her schedule or her on yours, but if she has something she wants to talk about with you, you want to try to respect that. So just simply tell her, and this is number 2, hey, I can't listen right now, I'm sorry, but I will come back to you in 20 minutes or something. So it's up to you to be the one to restart that conversation. Don't put that on her. If you're the one that's putting it off, understandably maybe, you're the one that has to start it, so she trusts that you will come back to her and talk to her again, okay? And then you have to kind of set a time limit. Say like, yeah, within half an hour, or as soon as I'm done with cleaning this section of whatever, I'll come back to you and let you know when we can talk. Okay, that's number 2. It's very fair because lots of times you're not ready to do that talking right now. Number 3 is engage with her, not just nodding, which is very important, but there's something called active listening, which is a classic, long-standing method for communicating. And I will give you just the basics right now, which meaning that you listen actively. So once in a while, if she's talking, you just acknowledge her. And interestingly enough, one of the main ways that you do that is use her same words. So if she says, hey, I'm really frustrated that you don't ever come out of the garage on time, you can kind of nod and say pick a couple of her words and say something like, oh, it's frustrating, okay? Or if she says to you, I really want to go over here, I love this place. So you don't just look at her, you might just acknowledge her and say, oh, you really like it. Yeah, and what's often going to happen if you use her words back, this is not a trick, this is not uh, manipulating somebody, it's acknowledging somebody that you're listening. So when you use those same words, she might not even notice exactly what you're saying, but you will often see her agree with you and say something. Like even if she says, the kids are driving me nuts, I don't know what to do, this one is just, always throwing stuff. You can listen and just let her express herself, by the way. This is what she came to you for. Not for you to solve the problem. Please stop solving problems, okay? Listen. If she wants it solved, she'll probably ask you. But if she wants to just vent or talk to you, let her talk, because then she'll feel heard. So again, if she said, oh, the kids are driving me crazy, Jimmy's just always over there jumping around and I can't keep up with him. And you listen and you might just say something like, yeah, it's hard to keep up. Or something like that. Yeah, Jimmy does jump. Make it brief, insert it, and let her continue. This is not the chance for you to now keep going on and on. It's for you to listen actively. So you're listening, and she can kind of tell because you're nodding, you have eye contact, and you're sometimes repeating her very words, okay? This is not saying that you agree, this number 3. It's not saying that you have to agree with her, but it's very important that you listen to her so that she feels listened to. And then you might get into trying to resolve that issue. Sometimes she might not even want to resolve it. She might just want to be heard. So active listening, you listen actively. Okay, and the fourth one, which is really very critical also, I was going to say easy, but you have to know yourself a little bit to do this one, is to manage your face and your tone, okay? If you're listening her like, yes, dear, raised eyes, all this stuff, the quote, yes, that's not sincere. It's not going to work. It's not going to help you or her communicate. You want to manage your tone and your voice and your face. So your face cannot be, yeah, I know, or your tone like, yeah, I know, you said that already. No, instead it's just like, I heard you. And try to keep frustration, rolled eyes, looking sideways out of it so that the clues to her and the cues to her are that you're listening and that your tone is calm. It's not like, you could say this same sentence 2 or 3 ways. This sentence might be like, that really seems unfair. So if she's saying something about a friend who she felt hurt by something, the nice way to be say something like, wow, that sounds unfair. But you could be sarcastic, and if you're not careful, this is what comes out like, well, that sounds unfair. Oh yeah, that's unfair. I'm saying the same words, but I'm saying it with sarcasm. Or if I'm looking at something, yeah, that sounds really unfair. Yeah, that's not showing attention either. And she can see that many times in your facial expression and the tone of your voice. So if you're not sure what you sound like, sometimes go look in the mirror. I have told many clients to do this. Go look in the mirror and hold the face that you're thinking of when you're talking to her. You might be imagining, after we get off this conversation, a certain discussion you've had or something that bothers her. And you're kind of getting and you're thinking about this and you're getting your face and it's kind of like this. Hold that and go to a mirror, and get close and see what you look like. You might notice that there are signs in your face alone that show that you're not really listening, that you're frustrated or have a different opinion or can't wait to give her your opinion and solve the problem. And she's not asking you to solve the problem. So it's really critical that you watch your face and you watch your tone. Again, if she's saying something like, oh, I'm so excited, when we're going to go out to dinner next Saturday. And if your tone is like, yeah, me too. Not very believable, is it? Is she going to believe you, trust you? Or if it's like, yeah, me too, that's sarcasm, right? If instead you're saying something like, yeah, me too, eye contact, yeah, me too, could be fun. That's the tone and the face and the eye contact all working together to show your wife or whoever you're with, somebody that you love and care about, it could be anybody, that you're listening to them. And that's my thoughts for today. I hope that you will put any comments below to give me direction what you want to do. I want to develop a bunch of folks, guys, men, older men, who want to keep getting information and let me know what you want. Thanks a lot.